Hello, this is Miho. How are you doing? I'm recording this in Canada. Hope your mental and physical health are good and fit. So today, I'm gonna talk about changing the habit. Usually changing the bad habit to good or something new that you wanna take in your life. But it won't last or it's not gonna do any good. Those thoughts come in. And of course, I've been through that many times, and I have the habits I'd like to change into as well. So you pick the one and continue for 60 days. The commit one thing for 60 days. Why 60 days? They say the average it takes that many days, 60 days, for the brain to actually form the synapses, the pathways to form the new ones, and then it will replace the one that's old. For some people, much earlier. So some people takes longer, but just the average in general, around that 60 days is a good mark. So you set your mind, commit for almost 2 months, right? Pick one. When you pick like 10 of things, it gets overwhelmed. And if it didn't go well and falls apart, you feel like, you failed on everything. So pick one. So I used to do this because I couldn't think anything really positive. So I picked the word I'm lucky. I never thought of that I'm lucky. So it was no meaning to me. And I didn't even want to say it because it doesn't mean anything to me, or it's almost embarrassed even use that phrase because I thought it wasn't for me. It was for somebody else that who are really lucky. But it doesn't matter. What do you feel about, the phrase? It's not important. You just pick the phrase that are good for you. Say like I'm lucky, and you just keep reciting in your head or sometimes in a wording, and you keep doing it no matter what. It doesn't has to be lucky to say I'm lucky. You just keep saying it. So I did. First it was really hesitant. I felt really embarrassed to even say it to myself. It was really uncomfortable because I never really used those words to myself. But you kind of get used to it. It's more like, you kind of get into the mode, and you don't even think too much about it after a while. You're just reciting. And then all of a sudden you do get lucky. For instance, you're in a hurry to go from A to B, and all of a sudden when you're driving, you see the blue lights all the way through. And I go, whoa, I'm lucky. And you think to yourself, wow, I just said that to myself without really consciously, directing yourself to it, right? And then you start really see the reality that you're really lucky. For instance, like you were almost late to your appointment, but because in the back of your head, I'm lucky, somehow the other party says, oh, sorry, I'll be late for half an hour. Or something else, that parking, it's a good one, right? And it's packed in a parking lot, but somehow one car pulls off. So here you go, that's your space. And those things happen. And you think it's just a fluke, right? It could be, but it doesn't matter. As long as you keep saying it, because your brain start to form that, pathways, and it generates that mode. And actually you're the part, the energy, that the wording is also the energy. Like you feel that when you hear a good word, you feel good. But if somebody says like really harsh, bad, judgmental word, you feel really bad, right? So you're feeling the energy from the word. So why not using the word that's really good for your brain as well and feel the energy wise. So you start to really radiate that thoughts in your head and you start to attract those energy that you keep telling yourself. And you don't have to share to the rest of the world what you're saying or reciting in the back of your head. You just keep saying it, keep saying it. And at first, of course, you feel uncomfortable like I did, but after a while, you kind of start to feel normal or natural that you could say I'm lucky, right? You will. So that's what I did. And you start to feel really good because you start to attract things that lucky. And that makes you feel good. So that making feel good attracts even more because you feel much better about, your life or your day. And it's accumulation. So I use this, I'm lucky word, but you could do anything. Or the habit. Maybe you want to, I don't know, go for a walk or do the exercise or at least moving during the day because you're cooped up in the house a lot more. And you decide, okay, I'm going to walk for half an hour every other day, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And you set the time and you go out no matter what. And then you maybe have an idea, maybe I tag along with a friend who likes to walk. And then you start to getting a commitment, right? And you make yourself go out to see that person. Even half an hour, it's a great, fresh air and a walk. Good for you. So pick the one and stick to it for 60 days and see how it goes. And for mental part, pick the word that's really encouraging you. It's like a mantle, right? You have your favorite words. I just picked the one that I like to say, easy, I'm lucky. And you start to really see, how much you attract the luckiest things. So it's really interesting how that works for you. So pick one and stick to it for 60 days. Okay, I hope this helps and I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.